we're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. Let's get a fry up and let's talk prison officer life. What are you going to go for? I joined in the midst of COVID, so I used to work in the travel industry. So I worked at the London Eye, and I was like looking through all these jobs, and I saw a prison officer, come up, and I thought, oh, that looks interesting. I had no prior knowledge, didn't know anyone in the industry, so I applied, and I was, looking at sort of what they were asking for, a strong communicator, a strong listener, and I thought, okay, I'll deal with 20,000 tourists day in, day out.
Being able to speak to people, right? People's person, and I know, Charlie, you're such a people's person, so. That's a tick.
That's what makes a fantastic prison officer.
Yeah.
When I first joined the prison service, I came in thinking, I'm going to make a change, I'm going to change the prison service.
But you are every day, and that's the thing. And sometimes you don't necessarily see the change straight away, and it's something that can happen over a long period of time. But for me, when I see that somebody's reconnected with their family, or they've walked out the gates with like qualifications and like a new lease of life, that's for me like change, and I'm happy, and I've been like, this is why I've become a prison officer. Yeah. What does it feel different being like a male prison officer in a female prison?
When I first coming into it, I had no expectation of what that would look like or what that would feel like. And over time, I'd come across prisoners that wouldn't even engage with males, didn't want to look at me, would say, get them away from me.
Why do you think that is?
I'd say often, I think a lot of the time, they're inside because of something to do with a male, and they've lost all trust and respect and hope around males, and it's kind of down to me or other male officers to kind of break that stigma and get through to them again over time.
Usually these women have never been heard before, so being able to listen to them. Over the years, you build rapport, right? You build rapport with some of the complex women. So if I know that one of my ladies just doesn't feel like going to work, I'm pulling them in for a chat, what's going on, what's really going on, and 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, oh, Fatima, I haven't been able to call my family. So I get to the root cause, but 100%, you just need to be able to communicate well. No two prisoners are the same. Sometimes they might like a bit of banter, but there might be a prisoner that doesn't like that. Yeah. Or there might be a prisoner that needs additional care or needs, and you have to sort of help facilitate that.
I remember I had a prisoner that came into the office and just said, sir, I need to vent, I need to rant. And they went off for about 10 minutes going on and on and on.
Yeah.
And then just went, thank you so much. I didn't say a word, but to them, just me listening was more than enough. And I thought, okay, brilliant.
And you're saying that, I had one who wasn't able to read or write, and for me it was like the general stuff. They needed to write an application to a different department, and they're like, miss, can you help me write an application form out? So you're kind of like a bit of an educator as well. So yeah, it's such a diverse role. Do you know what can sometimes be quite triggering? It's like hearing the alarm bell go off and not knowing where it's going to be. When you hear in the control room saying there's a general alarm and you don't know what wing it's going to be on, and
is that one of my colleagues in danger?
Absolutely. So I'll never forget, like I've had
rush of adrenaline. It's like the alarm goes off and then you're like hyper-focused, hyper-vigilant.
Do you know what?
Get to the scene.
Having good rapport with your colleagues and knowing that they'll have your back, and a lot of the time I've always felt so safe and secure because of my colleagues. One minute I might be having to de-escalate a situation or somebody's in distress, and there might be a day where everyone's really happy and like something positive's come out of the day, really. But do you know what? It's so annoying when people say, is it like the prison, like the programmes that you see on the television? Because I'm like, it's not. Those little moments all add up for me.
And this is real life.
You're not just opening and locking doors all day and being security. You're a prison officer, but you're also much more than that. There's so many opportunities, so many qualifications that you can do. 100%, I'd say to anyone really, if you're becoming a prison officer, don't just think you won't be able to progress, because there's so many progressive options. Yeah.
One thing I found, I've never felt like I've stagnated at all.
No.
Like I've always felt like I'm challenging myself and I'm upskilling day in, day out.
It just tells the tale. Like I've been in for five years pretty much, and I haven't looked back. I want to carry on, and I think it just proves that anyone can do it. You just have to, go for the deep end and get involved.